Good afternoon. When smoke starts to fill a room, that's just what it ends up doing. The longer that the fire smolders or burns in any enclosed space, eventually the smoke is going to take up every cubic foot of that space. So if it starts to if a fire starts in your home, the smoke is going to start to billow. It's going to start at the ceiling, work its way down, and eventually you're not even going to be able to get down as low as possible. If the fire has burned long enough, the smoke will choke out even down there. It fills the entire space. And when it does, you can't walk through it. You can't get through it because there's no oxygen to breathe. There's nothing there. You can't see through it. You can't breathe at all. That's a scary situation. We don't want that kind of thing to happen to us or to anyone else because of how scary it is. But think about how total that smoke filling an area would be. Think about how thick it would be, how much you would notice it if you tried to get through it. And then think about it from the positive standpoint. Think about that smoke, not as smoke that will choke out, but think about it the way that the Bible speaks about God and His presence. It uses the picture of smoke many times over to show how God interacts with His people, to show one example of a way to think about God. This is what it says in Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 4. Then the glory of the Lord rose from above the cherubim and moved to the threshold of the temple. The temple was filled with the cloud, and the courtyard was full of the radiance of the glory of the Lord. The cloud was God's presence among His people. And it was a menacing presence for those who were doing sinful things. But that presence was something visible that the people could point to and say, there, we can see that God is among us. When they saw that cloud moving, when they saw that cloud. And here, the cloud is filling the space. It is filling the temple. It is showing to the people that God is among them. And when God is among them, He is among them fully, right? He fills the whole room. He fills it with His presence and with His glory. Because when God is among you, He is among you fully. And when God is among you, He is doing so because He has saved you. He is doing so because He wants to lift you up and rescue you. He wants to show His love for you. This cloud of God's glory is not a menace. It is not something scary. It is not something like a cloud filling or a smoke filling a room after a fire. That's danger. This is glory of the Lord. This is God's love in action, showing that He is with His people, that He cares for His people, that He saves His people. We wish for this kind of presence in our life. We wish to see the glory of the Lord, to see this cloud of the Lord's presence, to know that God is with us. We may not see it with our own eyes, but when we read the Word, we know that God is with us too. Until we see each other again, the Lord's blessings on your day.